Imagine this. You're standing alone in this room holding bags filled with 10 million bucks you just robbed from the bank across the street. You can't just use that money straight away because the news about the new robbery are spreading faster than you might think. But how do I hide those money then? How can I make them appear as my money, not the money of the bank? Well, in this video, you'll become a true expert at money laundering with just a little help of Minecraft. See, your problem is that everyone knows that those emeralds or bucks you're holding are hot. They're marked and they smell like trouble. If you try to buy a diamond pickaxe from the village blacksmith with a bag stuffed full of stolen emeralds, he's going to know something's up and the police will be on you in about 5 minutes. Money laundering here is the sneaky art of making your dirty money look perfectly clean and honestly earned. But why can't you just stash your 10 million bucks in a random chest and spend it slowly? The answer is that in the real world, the president's accountants, the surveyors, and even the friendly village bankers keep track. They know who mines what, who trades what, and if someone suddenly starts spending tons without a good reason, like if you just suddenly build a giant gold castle overnight while sitting on a tiny farmer's income, an alarm goes off. Money laundering helps you to fool these eyes of accountants, making your stolen cash look like it came from the hard work. However, as you might have guessed, money laundering isn't just one quick spell. It is a complicated 3-phase process. To make your 10 million stolen bucks look real, you'll need to master each one. Your first task is placement. This is all about getting your stolen 10 million bucks, your hot cash, into the normal money system without anyone noticing it. Since you can't just dump it all in one go, you have to think small. Very small. You could go to dozens of different small villagers, visiting their little trading posts. Maybe you buy a single stack of dirt here, sell a few flowers there, make sure each emerald you deposit or transaction is so tiny, so small that it seems perfectly normal. You could use different villager names, making small buys of cheap items like wooden planks or cobblestone, then selling those in other villagers for tiny amounts of cleaner emeralds. Think of it as dropping a handful of very rare exotic seeds into a normal wheat field. They blend in because they're so spread out. The main point here is to spread out your money in smaller amounts. You're slowly dripping your bad money into the flow of good money, hoping that no one notices even the slight difference. So now, once your emeralds are placed little by little in various corners of the world, you move to what's called the layering. And this is the trickiest part, designed to confuse anyone trying to trace your money back to that robbed bank. You want to create such a confusing maze of money moves that the president's accountants will give up on trying to follow the trail. So for this purpose, you might set up something like a legitimate logging company, even if you don't chop a single tree. Your logging company then could pretend to sell huge amounts of wood to another fake company that you secretly control in a distant desert biome. That desert company then invests in a totally made up creeper farm and so on. Your emeralds start jumping from one account to another, from one fake business to a secret company in the desert while swapping currencies and buying things then selling them immediately for no reason. It's just like taking those spreaded seeds you've planted, growing them into the wheat, baking dozens of different cakes, chopping those cakes into hundreds of pieces, mixing the pieces into different stews, and then sending those stews to different biomes as shipments. And I guarantee you, by the time someone tries to trace it back, it's just a mess of transactions with no clear point. Finally, you reach integration. This is your big moment. After all confusing layering, your 10 million stolen bucks now look like they came from perfectly normal, everyday business deals. And now you can confidently spend your money. You can build a massive diamond mansion with a sprawling garden and nether portals you've always dreamed of. You can buy rare items from famous explorers, hire an army of villager bodyguards, or even open a chain of legitimate potion shops across the land. There would absolutely be no questions where your wealth came from because it looks perfectly normal, as if your legitimate logging company was a massive success. But wait. Well, this all sounds like a clever plan to get rich, Money laundering causes real harm to everyone in the world and not just the bank you robbed. First, it lets criminals get away with their illegal moves. By washing their money, they can keep robbing banks, selling forbidden drugs, or doing other harmful things knowing that they can spend those profits freely. Second, it messes up the honest economy. All that hidden laundering money means less tax for the president to build defenses, maintain trade routes, or fund new explorations. It also makes things unfair for honest miners and farmers who play by the rules. And lastly, it can make prices for everyday goods go just crazy. If a launderer fortune buys up all the prime land or valuable sources, it can push prices so high that honest players can't afford them. Also, please don't think that you're completely safe with money laundering. The accountants of the banks across the world aren't blind. They have special teams who are looking for the suspicious money moves. Banks must report any very large deals or strange patterns. If your logging company suddenly makes millions more than it should be for selling simple wood, or if tiny emeralds deposits keep showing up from dozens of unknown accounts, that's a huge red flag. And these rules help catch the dirty gold before it's completely washed, making it much harder for the criminals to hide their tracks. So there you have it. Now you know that the secret process of money laundering is not about washing gold in a bucket, but a complex, tricky process to turn stolen money into seemingly honest wealth. I hope this video has helped you understand this tricky topic. Thank you for watching, and please remember, in Minecraft and in life, it's always best to keep your emeralds clear.